Alright, so definitely no introductions or introductions for this channel. If any of you guys truly care about my stuff, though, if you truly give Lucky Rapids left, right, feet about myself, like, share, comment, hit the bell notification. Truly care. Give a ass area about myself, like, share, hit the bell notification again. Subscribe. Please, I'm begging you, top my knees. Please. My old school people that have my back from day freaking one, my old school original class subscribers, my watchman woman on the wall, fanboys, fangirls out there, my watchers, my viewers, my freaking supporters, and of course, as always, the people that had my back from back in the days, and of course, as always, my followers, my classic old school original followers, my real old school people that were my freaking fanatics out there. People that truly had my back since day freaking one when I was still my old school channel, Critical Guy Rosation 909. My other channel, way back then, 10 Manga Freaks, way old school age channel. If any guys were with me from way back then, the late 2000s or limit 2010, like, you guys are real actual troopers out there. We honestly were. Just in case the YouTube algorithm throttle around and mess around and after around with my channel, it'd be great. You guys come back with me on this adventure. Please come along, re-tag along with me in this journey again. If you could. I get it. If not, it's a one-time thing again. You're never going to see me ever again. I totally understand. It's all good in the hood. It's all one on the bridge. It's all bright and bushy tails. Completely calm, cool, chill, collective, and I'm really, like, content. I'm peaceful with that decision you guys make. Anyways, this one, I know I've been teasing it for the past almost 3 full weeks since I talked about it, because they already showed it on Summer Games Fest and Sony State of Play back in June 1st and June 3rd. Way earlier this freaking month of 2026, of course. And the God of War ones. There's not just 4, those 5 videos on it. So this is the thing, this deal I'm going to do. There's like 3 of them. They're like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm just going to play those normally. The rest I'm just going to put at 1.4, 1.5 speed, because I don't know if I'm going to be super invested in getting this thing. Well, excuse me. Usually that doesn't happen when I do my videos. I swear I'm not getting sick and not getting no allergies, not getting fucking infected or any virus or diseases out there, like that whole weird, scary rat virus thing that was happening in April, May. Hopefully that shit doesn't escalate, God forbid. Whether it's real fake, I don't know. But going back to my main thing I was saying, yeah. The other 2 videos are like 24, 25 minutes long, so I'm just going to make those as super fast as possible. To make it even shorter, I'm going to do any story article. I had 3 or maybe 4 or 5 story articles max I wanted to talk about originally, but this video will probably be an hour and a half, 2 hours long if I do that. So I'm probably just going to save it for the next video I do instead. So that way I cut time a lot shorter. Man, and that video is going to be 1,000,000,000 times more longer, because it's either going to be a reaction thing to like the one I wanted to do for a while that came out like 2, 3, 4 days ago. That Street Fighter Yasmin one. That one I might do it for that one, or if not, I'll save it for another one. Who knows? I know there was a new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer that came out last week, but I'm kind of scared when they get copyright claim strike because of the music they're probably playing in the background. It's copyright claimed or whatever. And there was another one, VisiPod, just made a hell of a boss music video one, but I'm not reacting to that one. Not because it's all LGBTQIA, they, them, non-binary, gender fluid stuff, even though usually most of the time when it comes to those type of subjects, I'm trying to get super over politicized in my shit. Or, you know, I don't give a frick about freaking politics. If you've been on my channel long enough, I give zero me out of that poops about it. No shits at all about it. This is just a fucking effed up mind virus that fucking makes people have hatred and anger for all fucking eternity. Every single day for the rest of their fucking life. That's why I never got into politics. And thank God I never fucking will. It's mainly all fake anyways. It's bullshit political tricks with geriatrics, political theater crap. But getting into my main point though. Yeah, this is going to be a super long ass video if I add new story articles. I'm already blabbering and yapping on long enough. So, the last 2 things I'll finally say, yeah. I know VisiPod, yeah, I know she's all part of the whole LGBTQIA, they, them. She's a huge mass supporter about that. They, them, non-binary, gender fluid, they, thems, and all the freaking Tumblr ass freaking shit and blue sky shit. That's mainly I'm more blue sky than is on Twitter, thank God. I mean, Twitter actually still has its own fucking problems, unfortunately, but it's a lot less shittier and less crappier problematic when they made Blue Sky, 2024, 2025, like a year or 2 ago. A lot of those fools mainly went to that site a lot more compared to Twitter X, thank God. There's another freaking small, I think, like, what's it called, adventure clip episode she did, so I'll probably react to that one. So that's probably why I'll do the news article stories afterwards, and that one's will be a lot shorter. But anyways, without beating around the bush, God of War Laufey Combat first look from PS5 games. This was from the whole state of play that did on June 3rd. I'm way late as hell on this. I'm like 2-3 weeks late at the most on this, so hopefully this isn't a whole hour video. I'm trying to get it to like 30 or 50 minutes maximum. So yeah, try to make it less than an hour, less than a half hour. So let's truly jump into this. See how crazy this is. I know I've already seen pictures of the girl Laufey, which is sad as hell. The one that's playing Laufey or Laufey. She's super beautiful as hell. The real motion capture actress they gave for this game's super fine, gorgeous ass. Cheesecake Factory levels of gorgeousness and prettiness and beautiness and real smexy and real attractive hot ass woman. Gorgeous that chick from like 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s level of prettiness and femininity. Real actual femininity, not the fake bullshit third wave feminist crap they give nowadays, unfortunately. So it's a damn shame they still ended up uglifying the living garbage out of her when they made her a video game model, which was sad as hell. So I'm not surprised Santa Monica Studios is probably going to be more of a failure of a game than a freaking success. Especially you don't have Kratos as a main character and he's at least a side character, at least playing with him for a little bit. It's going to suck, unfortunately. So that's why I'm going to be able to get the game in because I don't have PlayStation 5, PS6 anyway, so it doesn't matter. And the PS6 doesn't even come out yet either. And I said 2028, 2029 might end up being a thing. I don't know. Oh, those are more little extra news. I already know that was a whole trailer thing for Grand Theft Auto. I really want to react to that Grand Theft Auto 1.6. They said November, so it's going to be coming out this year, November. So, fingers crossed I don't push it to 2027, 2028. And that's it. Without further ado, let's really jump into this bad boy. I yapped on long enough. I'm not just quitting the video like that. Of course I'm going to react to this thing. At least let the freaking gameplay and the weapons and the stage stuff and the tools mechanics still be cool, because if not, I'm going to be really sad as fucking hell. I wonder if they're going to speak the same English language, like British English language from the Middle Ages, Night Ages, like they do with the Elden Ring and the Witcher game series and Elden Ring and what's the other one besides Elden Ring, the Bloodborne, Dark Souls sort of games. If it's Souls-like, it might be okay. I don't know. Because I'm going to miss those Blades of Chaos and the freaking giant Valhalla Stacus. Kratos was known for kicking ass and taking all these gods and demons heads cleaned the hell off. He would always unalive a shit ton of freaking gods that were always evil and destructive to man. That's what I loved about fucking Kratos. Even though he was more of a nicer fatherly figure to his son, but he still treated him not with tough love, but medium-sized love. I don't know. Anyway, alright, let's truly go. Let's jump into it. Let's go. Hopefully it's not a success. Hopefully it's not a success. Hopefully it's not a failure and it might be a success. Who knows? But if it ends up being a flop and a shithole of a game, I ain't surprised. Now I'm getting my hopes up. Let's go. Oh no, they actually had gameplay for it too. So it really is gameplay. They weren't lying about that. Combat first look gameplay. Let's see it. Alright, let's go.
Peterson. I'm the lead hero designer on God of War Laufey.
Hi, my name is Denny. I am a design director focused on combat and progression.
I think Faye's power fantasy really starts with her past. As the guardian of the giants, she has proven roots as a warrior. Her combat needed to feel incredibly lethal, powerful, and fluid, and just overall extremely satisfying.
We wanted to build upon the strengths of the modern God of War combat system, and at the same
Alright, so far, the way she's swinging and moving the sword back and forth, all spinny like Tasmanian Devil tornado style, like, so far it's looking okay. I'm not saying it's the best thing ever, but it's looking almost to a certain extent. To a certain small microscopic extent of what the traditional God of War had with Kratos as a character. At least let him play as a bonus character. Please, man. Or at least let him play as a son, because he was cool as shit too. I loved it, had a lot of Kratos' son when he was trying to teach him how to be a hunter and a god of destruction and all that shit, man. That was badass as shit. If we can't play as Kratos, at least play as his cool son. Maybe in the far future or the far past or spin-off, I don't know. At least give them good lines to say it too. So far, it's looking not roughly bad, but not roughly perfect either. I don't know. This is still early beta.
time, we wanted to inject a little bit more of that old school, classic God of War DNA into it. So with the addition of jump, there's a lot of fun, new, more over-the-top things that you can do in this game compared to the grounded nature of the previous two games. And I think it leads to a fresh yet familiar feel to the combat system that I think everyone will enjoy.
We knew that we wanted to push on Faye's mobility, and by allowing her to transition seamlessly between the air and the ground states, it led to this hyper-responsiveness that quickly became fundamental to what made her so fun to play.
Faye's increased mobility adds a new layer to both the offense and defensive options that players have. You can jump over enemy attacks. Enemies will also threaten you with more dangerous attacks that you have to use increased mobility to deal with.
One of the defining aspects of Faye's sword is its tempo, which is a deliberate combination of speed, control, and relentlessness. From the moment that we see Faye wielding the sword, she's attacking with this incredible pace, and she's able to do that by building and maintaining this momentum and allowing that momentum to carry from one attack to the next. And that creates this relentlessness in the way that Faye wields the sword.
The Giants were one of Odin's biggest threats, and they wielded powerful magic, and they had an affinity for manipulating souls.
Alright, so they still have the other old gods that Kratos was trying to... I don't know if he was against that one or not, because the ones from Valhalla is the ones from like the Norse mythos, like the ones that came from Denmark, Dutchland, like Netherlands, European, ancient folklore, ancient mythology, on the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU dudes, like Loki and Thor and all that. And then like that dude Stan Lee made a whole version of that, completely separate from the old, real, ancient folklore, Norse mythology, fantasy shit. So they still kept some of the gods like that Odin and the Poseidon dude in there. Okay, so they're still being faithful to some of the stories of which gods ruled this universe and all that shit from old Norse mythology and Asgard and shit like that. So they still kept some of those old stuff from Valhalla, like some of those ancient story mythos and legends, a part of this story. So I'm glad they didn't scrap all that shit up and just put Miss Chick as a woke girl boss. I'm glad they didn't do that. They didn't abandon ship on that part. So they mentioned him at least. I'd be surprised if he had an appearance in this game for Odin. Who knows?
When Faye, the golden head of the Jotnar, wakes up in the Everyone, she finds her own soul-related abilities supercharged. You can hit an enemy so hard that their soul will actually detach from their original body. And from that point on, there's a lot of cool things you can do. You can attack the soul, you can knock it into other enemies, watch the soul boomerang back to the...
It's like that one video game Platinum Games did, the same people that made Bayonetta 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the same one that made the freaking Persona games. I think the Astral Chain thing. So they kind of put that mechanic in this game. So, alright, that's a little bit interesting. I'll give a little bit of it on that part. And like I said, I'm not trying to get my hopes up on this thing either, because I know how super wokey and fucking politicized the whole state in California and Santa Monica and all those Northern Southern Cali plats like to put their whole wokeism and trash SJW fucking virtue signaling fucking garbage trash feminism bullshit into their fucking games sometimes. So what happened with Forspoken in games like those. Please don't let this one God of War Laufey be the same way. Hopefully it doesn't suffer the same fate. I'm praying it doesn't.
Original body and deal damage to it. I think players are going to have a lot of fun discovering all the intricacies and ways to master it.
So there are numerous ways that Faye's two companions will assist her in combat, and each one fills a very distinct role. Rue, the ribbons of Faye's legendary sword, will act in sync with Faye to bolster her moveset, but isn't necessarily going to strike out on her own unless directed by Faye. And that gives Faye this exciting opportunity to elevate the combat prowess of the pair to a greater degree than they'd individually be capable of. As soon as Faye acquires the sword, she strikes powerfully at an enemy, knocking them back, and then whips the ribbons at the enemy, which ultimately sets her up for this brutal finisher. And that more direct synchronization between characters is very telling of how the dynamic between Rue and Faye will play out, which is very different than what we see with Frank.
Frank is your cosmic cube companion. He's there to support you and +1 your actions in combat. If I kick an enemy into Frank, Frank will actually trampoline them up into the air. I can jump up, air dash toward it, slash him with my sword, and then pull him into me with the ribbons and execute him with a cool cinematic finisher. But at the same time, it's up to me. I can all...
For that dude. And then I'll just work for Frank. Unless it's a traditional, I don't know, Western, Eastern European, ancient Knights at the Round Table, like Franklin or Frank Lecherson or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it has ancient Greek Roman mythology or freaking Eastern Nordic sort of ties to that name, Franklin or something. I don't know. And that's why they gave that Cosmic Cube companion guy named Frank that specific terminology of a name. I don't fucking know. And that's what it does have, you know, unless it's just some Latin name that doesn't have ancient Greek origin or Roman mythology or God of War, like Greek mythos, Norse mythology. I don't know. Maybe it's important, maybe it's not. Maybe it's the name of one of their dogs or cats. I don't know.
So just kick the enemy in, watch Frank trampoline them, turn my attention to some other enemy, and decide to go off and let Frank deal with that. Over the course of the game, you'll be able to upgrade both Rue and Frank to tailor them to your own playstyle. Focus a lot on Fae today, but at the other end of the spectrum, there are plenty of evil gods, gigantic creatures, and spectacular sequences to experience in the game.
I'm glad they cut that part.
But there's plenty more about Fae that we've yet to share, and we can't wait to share with you in the future.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
That part, I'm glad they cut I kind of see the vision they want to do. Maybe. That might be wrong. I don't know. Alright, so, see you in the next video. Hold on one quick second. I promise I'll be back. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do is the next other God of War Laufey, however you said, introduction of Fae, PS5 games. Of course, PlayStation Network, PSN channel, and almost 2 million views on that thing. It must have been like way more at the time, man. This was from a day before, June 2nd at the time. Damn. So I was way extra late to this bitch than I was before, unfortunately. Man, IRL shit had to call. I do my work in IRL, bills and taxes and stuff, so it's not easy doing adulting stuff and trying to do YouTube reaction videos all damn day. Other than that, a lot of yapping and beating around the bush and freaking stalling and shitting around or any of that mess and messing around and busting fool's chops and all that mess. Let's truly jump into it. It's almost 17 minutes into the video, so hopefully you guys are still here. If not, I understand it was a long hour and a half video. Pray to God it's not an hour and a half, 2 hour video. So my brain is between 35 or 50 minutes at the most. Alright, let's go into it. Let's see how this other one is. Probably gonna give her a whole backstory and lore how she was, I don't know, maybe Kratos' ex-wife or girlfriend, who knows. Let's go.
It's smaller.
She was fearsome. Damn fine woman she was. Apart from her taste in men.
May is dead. Rest of them are. One's left alive after pay the price.
Death is a natural part of life.
Oh, wow. She looked a lot more different on that model. I don't know if it's because it was still PlayStation 4 at the time. When it came out before the PS5 became a thing. Or I think the PS5 already was released when they had God of War Ragnarok and them being released during that time. I don't know. Because they were still doing PS4, PS5 releases at the time when that game came out. I remember that part. That much information for sure. Alright. So it was a different model.
I wish
I
only
must
to be
have
prepared
used a different model lady for that, or is it the same actress? I'm not sure.
for when my time comes.
My name's Jimmy Myers. I'm the narrative director on God of War Laufey.
My name is Elise Morgan, and I am the lead writer on God of War Laufey.
My first experience with God of War was playing 2018.
I started my first God of War game with 2018 as well, and I actually joined the studio while they were working on Ragnarok, so I got to see that team work on that game and see how Faye came to life, and it was such a large part of how we began to build this character in God of War Laufey.
These stories have revolved around Faye in a lot of ways, but they're told through the lens of other people and what Faye meant to them. And even though we got to spend time with Faye a bit in Ragnarok, we didn't get to know her.
Time is running out, my love, and there is much to do.
But what we do know is that she was the guardian of Midgard, that she was the guardian of the giants, that she had the Leviathan axe made for her.
Oh, we knew Faye was the last guardian of the Jotnar left in Midgard. That's why we made her the axe. We hoped it could restore the balance of power.
But we also know that she met Kratos at her lowest point, that she had Atreus with Kratos, that she taught Atreus everything she knew so that he would be prepared. But behind all of that, there was a woman who held a lot of secrets, and she didn't tell even her closest loved ones everything about her.
She had a quiet moment of life for just a while, and then she died. When she died, she had a plan for Kratos and Atreus, something that she hadn't even told them about, and we didn't know why.
She sent us here knowing we would find this.
But why not just tell us the truth?
But they trusted her, and they followed that plan, and everything that they accomplished in 2018 was a result of it. What players should know about God of War Laufey before they start playing is that it starts from the moment that Kratos placed Faye's body on the pyre and burned it. And from there, Faye awakens in the Everyone, which is the afterlife of the gods. And around her, she's in a lush place that is very different than what she expected.
All gods return to the afterlife of the gods at the end of their life. So when they die, this is where they go. And all magic goes there.
It's colorful and vivid and unexpected and beautiful, but it has suffered and been corrupted and become a bit threatening. Faye quickly realizes that the plan she had set in motion for Kratos and Atreus to protect them from a fate that she had foreseen may not work. Her priority shifts to getting home. The afterlife of the gods is inhabited by two gods of war named Bexi and Sekhmet.
And they look at Faye and they see her as just another thing to put into a cage.
Faye realizes that she has a pretty big challenge to overcome in freeing herself from their grasp.
She meets the cosmic cube, Frank. She meets Rue, these ribbons attached to a sword, and she's saying, let me help you. Let me help you through this. Let's do this together. And that is going to be the group that helps her find her way home.
Faye is a survivor. She's powerful. She's scary when she wants to be.
You touch me again, and I swear, I will kill you.
She's a great fighter, but she's also very willing to fight dirty. I think that scrappiness is something that gives her an advantage against someone even as towering as Bexi. Faye brings a sense of hope and the possibility of change. Her ability to
double whip chain is supposed to be her version, like the chaos blade stuff, but it still doesn't hit as hardcore as I. And because I'm looking at the nostalgia roasted in glasses, because Kratos was the one I used to fight all these crazy, wild, evil, freaking eldritch demons and Roman Greek mythology. Like, what else? All these other like type of wild, crazy gods and goddesses from like the Greek culture and all that shit. And Romanization culture and all the other Sumerian cultures and maybe Egyptian cultures that he found, other IRL like cultures that were out there maybe he found, I don't know. Because I didn't play all the God of Wars. I only played part 1, 2, and 4, maybe 5. I never played like, I think 2 and 5 or 2 or 6 is one of the two I ended up missing out on. So I don't know what happened to those ones. Or you got to fight the one from hell, like Hades. So I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at their old school neurosis and nostalgia, old man, boomer, millennial glasses, but fuck it. I really still want to get to see at least Kratos do a little bit of fighting here and there too. Unless this is going to give it completely to this chick, Faye, aka Laufey, so I don't know how it's going to turn out.
Overcome impossible odds is something she carried into the afterlife with her.
You can beat her down, you can drag her through the mud, she will get back up. She will get back up and spit in the face. She will get back up and keep going. She will get back up and keep swinging no matter what.
The aspirational nature of being able to overcome is something that she embodies. I really hope that that will resonate with fans. To be able to play as someone who can continually overcome and work through things and make it to the other side while still caring about everyone around them.
Come on! No! I got a promise to keep.
If you haven't had a chance yet, please check out the reveal. The team has put so much work into it, and they're so excited to have you see it.
Thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to share more soon.
fucking works well. So I'm put it on 1.4. Ah, it's gonna be on Steam thing too. If it says on a wish list, on the wish list things. Alright, see you in one quick ass second. Hold on. Real quick ass second. I promise to be back. Hold on. Okay, so for these next two other video reactions I do, it's going to be at 1.45. So it's going to be way more faster. So if I remember to leave the links, the original videos and interviews and gameplay videos from this freaking Sony State of Play that they did in Summer's Games Fest, whichever one came from. I'm watching from the Sony one, so it's part of the Sony State of Play thing that they did or whatever at the time. So it says the God.War Laufey, Cory Barlog interviews with the game director, PS5 games. So these next two are going to be really super extra fast, so I don't know if I'm going to have any time to even like pause or see what they're going to be trying to talk about with this game. I don't know. I'm probably going to be bored as shit with it. That's why I put it at 1.45, real super extra hyper fast speed. So if I get bored as shit with this stuff and I don't pause it at all, hopefully I don't get no copyright claim or strike for that shit. It says, oh, you're not doing substance to you or whatever, substantiary, like pausing and talking throughout the whole entire video. It's because I don't really have that much fucking interest about it. Like, so far, it's looking okay. It's like, to me personally, it's between C- and a D+ so far. It's not the greatest looking game so far, but it's not like the extra shit bottom of the barrel, crappiest, broken, undeveloped game of all time so far. It looks like they put a lot of really hard work and effort into the game so far, but I'm just nervous as shit if they're going to make this a politicized thing. That's the thing that's irking the shit out of me real bad. If they start making it a woke, virtue signaling, girl boss, oh, she's just going to be better than the man. She doesn't need Kratos as her man. She's going to abandon Kratos, never go back to the real world and be with them and raise her kid. Because I don't need to raise no children of my own. I don't need no other guy. I hope they don't give her that fucking attitude, but so far, she hasn't come off that way yet. I'm hoping they keep it like that when the game gets released. Let's hope it stays that way. But if they decide to freaking go that whole fucking route, it's gonna end up being real bad for Santa Monica Studios. They might end up going in bankruptcy if this game sells shitty real bad, unfortunately. Because you never hear any of these other Japanese or South Korean freaking companies in video game industry ever going down on business. Unless they try to like start pandering towards the Western ideologies and beliefs and shit, which they don't. They have their own freaking bullshit ass problems they gotta deal with in real life. Even outside of bullshit liar news for politics stuff and all that. They gotta do their own fucking thing, unfortunately. So without further ado, these are gonna be super extra fast. I said before, I'll say it again, I sound like a broken record, but I'll see if I remember to leave both the links to both all 4 or 5 of these videos in the description box below. If not, you guys can find them in your own time. Alright, let's go. It's gonna be very super speedy.
Hello everybody, my name is Cory Barlog. I am the head of creative here at Santa Monica Studio, and I am excited to be coming here to talk to you a little bit about the God of War franchise. We're expanding out, TV, some games, but
hoping and praying to God.
Most importantly, most specifically for today, we're here to talk about...
You got a lot of freaking fans for God of War that are counting on you to make this one of the best badass fucking kick-ass freaking games of all time, so I'm disappointed shit ton of those fans. You got nobody to blame but their own freaking team. And hopefully God don't get unalive and, BOMB messed up, scary, sinister / effed up D threats or real bad, harming threats. Because if they do, that's going to be real sad for them. I wouldn't want to unalive and fucked up on my worst enemies. Hopefully the fans don't get too crazy, wild, and vicious to the point when they're threatening their own livelihood. And that gets way the fuck out of hand there. So hopefully it doesn't get that fucking bad. But if it does, probably gonna have to hide in a $1 billion islands mansion somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised to have that.
OfWar Laufey. And I have the director here sitting with me that I'm going to be talking to. Ariel Lawrence is somebody who I've worked with for 23 years. See, she's laughing because that, my God, is a long time. And obviously we've done different things throughout all of that, but we're going to get to know Ariel just a little bit in this sit down and talk a little bit about our past and what the game is that we're making here. Ariel Lawrence,
yes,
how are you today?
Excited to be here.
Excited to be here.
Good.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Look, so when did you start working at Santa Monica? When was it?
I started working at Santa Monica in August of 2003, when I was right out of film school. I got hired to cut trailers and videos, and I cut the TGS trailer for the first God of War. And then I wanted to do more than wait tables, so I asked if there was anything else I could do around here, and I ended up working in production.
Holy crap, she was there since day one when the old school 2003, 2004 first God of War freaking game was even announced, and I think it was released a year later. Because I remember, I think it was like in 8th grade, or like, I don't know if it was in middle school or my freshman year of high school. One of those 2 years, so either way back in that time. I feel ancient as fuck as a millennial saying this. I guess I was like 14, 15, 16. So I know, unfortunately, I got a year held back in middle school at the time, which was a bitch I had to fucking go to, which was sad as hell. I'm not going to get into it. It's kind of personal stuff. My God, dude. So this is old school stuff from way back then. That's crazy, man. So it must have been like 14, 15, or 16 when the first God of War game came out. So I remember one of my friends at the time was like, oh, you got to check out this thing. And this is going to age the shit out of me. I think it was either Game Trailers or GameSpy or IGN. You got to check on those three, or GameSpot's website. They talked about it. Or check out G4 TV. They just released this crazy trailer in it, because that's when it was all about video games back then. If you were a gamer at that time, you were either old school. Still, unfortunately, you were outcast, you were a geek, a nerd, you lived in your mom's basement or attic. Unfortunately, it was still a real bad stigma. Even in the early mid-2000s, it was still like that, sadly. So this lady was there for that from the beginning. So I'm hoping she didn't put no agenda of freaking political mess in this thing. I'm praying, my fingers crossed, it doesn't happen. But I'm not trying to be a judgmental asshole piece of shit, but the way the chicks dress, though, unfortunately, I highly doubt that's going to happen. It's my stuff that's out of...
And I worked on God of War 1, 2, 3, Ascension, and I was 2 years on 2018 before I took my little walkabout in the world, and then I couldn't get enough of this place. I came back home.
That's quite an amazing journey. You have deep roots with the God of War world. Cutting the trailer for TGS, that was like the first sort of thing that I worked on, I think, when I got here as well. So
that was back in the day when Kratos had blue tattoo.
Yeah.
And
we were still calling him Dominus.
It's still calling him Dominus.
Yeah.
And the team was only like 30, 35 people maybe.
Dang.
Small compared to now.
It was weird. It's weird to think of making games with that small of a group of people. When we were like 65 people, that's so much. And then we got to 100, that's so much.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the most memorable aspects of working on God of War, the whole franchise?
The whole franchise, I mean, I think each game definitely, I think, left its mark, or scars, battle scars. Yeah. But, you know, it's like the studio's, just the commitment to quality and the late nights with each other trying to figure out some problem or make some magic happen in the middle of the night, or coming back in and somebody took a smoke break and, I don't know, maybe change the boss of God of War 2. I think that might have been
I feel like that's a dig at me. I feel like I'm going to own that one because that's entirely true.
But, yeah, no, I mean, every game was like a new set of challenges. Like, how do you make Titans? How do you make the...
Oh, that's crazy. So he was the one that made some of the bosses and eldritch angels and demons and stuff like that? What? That was the dude responsible for making all those boss levels, really? Oh, wow. I wonder if he made up all the storylines and their background origin story the same way that the Norse mythology shit was about, or the Greek-Roman mythology had, for the real Greek-Roman gods that were, I don't know, taught about in history like 2,000-3,000 years ago, way back then, to those ancient civilizations. I have no idea. I'll never know that, 'cause I ain't got no time travel. I ain't no time machine mechanic person. I ain't no historian person. I ain't no professor that worked at social studies or historian, like archaeologists or illusionists, not illusionists, illustrators, or any of that mess. I ain't any of those type of people that study history and civilizations, how people worked their minds 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years ago in the past. I wouldn't know shit about that, unfortunately. I know a little bit here and there, but I was never an expert on none of that mess. Hell no.
Trailer for the Titans come through.
Oh, yes.
How do you make multiplayer? How do you reinvent Kratos? Where does he go? Like, so it's always an exciting story.
Why did you want to come back to the studio? What made you decide this is where I need to be?
The short and probably semi-uncomfortable answer for this interview is I came back for you. Definitely that bar of excellence has been in my head for a long time. Your creative voice has weighed down on some projects of mine, and I don't know, I just missed the team's commitment, just the people here. I came back for the people.
I came back for the people.
I came back.
I like that. That's better than coming back for me, because the voices in my head are not ones to follow.
That's your voice in my head, not your voices in my head. That's different.
True. If you had my voices in your head, that's not even. That's a whole nother series of videos, I imagine. So, when you found out coming here that you were going to work on a Faye game, what was your thoughts?
I was excited. I was a little shocked, surprised, I think, that we were going to do something different. I think when I was coming back and talking to folks, I had just assumed it would be another Kratos game, and that's who I would be telling stories about for the rest of my life. And I was okay with that. But I think finding out about Faye and just seeing somebody whose journey that we could really explore and turn new pages on was exciting. Looking at the world in a different lens was exciting.
Oh, man. See, that's the type of language I'm scared or nervous as shit about. I don't really tell you guys that much about what I do outside my role. You guys know, if you've been on my channel for many, many years, I've been doing a lot of hotel casino work as Porter Smiths and all this other stuff for janitorial stuff and all that other mess for hotel casino places and all that shit and all that other mess. But whenever I'm not doing that, I usually, it's super rare when I do it, usually once a week or once a month, I'll occasionally listen to a lot of old shitty lying mainstream media news from occasional stuff, especially when they, not exactly when it goes in the whole political spectrum stuff, but I feel like I'm getting that real nasty, icky vibe when they talk like, oh, I want to do this for my supporters. I want to have this visual lens for this character. I want a visual lens for that character. The same way this bullshit-ass liar pieces of shit politicians, I don't give a fuck which side it is. I don't care. I don't believe the whole left-right paradigm, the far leftist, liberal Democrat fools, or the Republican conservative fools and all that, or the far right-wing extremism and all that shit. I don't care about any of that mess, though, or the fucked up, nasty, evil white nationalism bullshit, or the Yahtzee shit, God forbid, or the Proud Boy shit or any of that. I don't care about any of that fucking crap. I never freaking will. You can live your life however the way you want, but start doing crimes and evilness in the world, and you should be in prison for the rest of your life, in my opinion. That's how I see it. But other than that, when they start using that weird, iffy, fucked up political speech language and shit, like how she's kind of doing a little bit, it's like, oh, I want to change this here, and I want to change that there, and they changed too much of the game's franchise for what it originally stood for. It's going to end up being a piece of shit, man. So I'm very, very scared as fuck how this game's going to end up coming out. I'm not saying I'm like a hardcore nostalgia fan for God of War. I played, like I said, like, what's it called? I missed 2 out of the 4 or 5 games that came out for it. I played 5 of them, but the other 2 I missed out on because I never got a chance to play those ones because my family wasn't rich. They didn't have freaking money growing on trees and all that shit. They had to bust their ass tooth and nail to get my ass to freaking, not even just high school, but community college and college university. And I did a lot of fucking sacrifice for me to even get my associate's and master's degree in like computer science and all that stuff. It was not easy, bro. Not fucking easy at all. And I thank them every day. And I was able to get that experience out of life too, but and thank God I don't want to be anything that brainwash and mind controls people's mind to have their own different beliefs and ideology, but have to brain rot the hell out of them through fake bullshit narrative that they give you promises of this, promises of that, and they want to change society and how they think of this person and that person, and they want this character to be like this character, and it's probably the same thing that they do in movies and video games and anime. And they're doing the video game industry shit right now, but oh fucking God, dude, I just hope and pray to God they don't make this bitch a nasty cunt piece of garbage I'm gonna hate the fuck out of. And they make her, oh, she's the freaking Zoe Quinn that needs Sarkazia in a freaking video game. She ends up being like that. I don't want nothing at all to do at all fucking period to play this game, period. Even though I have a PS5 Pro, but they put it for PS4 that I still do have. I'm not buying this shit off. Fuck it. Staying far the hell away from it. So, oh man, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a hardcore fan of the series, but I do like the series. I'm not in love with the series. I do like the shit out of the series of all those hardcore asshole badass challenges that Kratos had to go through. Because I got to go through all those levels of stages of worlds was so fucking awesome. Like the collection shit, the weapons they had, the way he took out all those demon monster things were cool as shit. I liked that back in my nostalgia days in middle school, high school, and community college. Those good ass fucking times, man. So they destroyed that for me. They just destroyed a piece of my youthfulness, which is sad, in my opinion.
So it was, just saying yes to that opportunity, I think was really cool.
It's a good outlook. Just say yes to that opportunity.
That's what has gotten me into a lot of trouble over the years.
That's true. I still can't
present position included.
Yeah, I always try to talk people out of directing.
You did try to talk me out of doing
that. But I try to be upfront and straightforward about it, just so that people don't feel like you tricked me. Like
no, you were very honest about the work that it entailed for doing this. Yes.
Yes. And it's exciting. Faye is, while it's a different thing, it's still part of the larger tapestry of what we're doing. We really want to explore all these different characters in there, but there's always going to be Kratos games, like throughout the whole
history.
For sure.
Yeah, we can't not tell stories about the big guy.
Let's go into directing. What are you most excited about in stepping into the role as a game director?
There's like a fine line between excitement and being terrified. I think I'm on the edge of excitement most of the time, but I think being able to be curious about everything on the game. Previously, I had done a lot of work on story and cinematics and different pipelines for the game, but this really got me able to be nosy and ask questions and really get people to look at things differently from a lot of different perspectives, and to just, have an opportunity to kind of like find myself in Faye's story was exciting. But yeah, then I think just, captaining this ship with all of these humans making this game together is a lot, but it's very exciting.
I want to go back to something you said, finding yourself. Talk about what part of you you're putting into the game.
I mean, I think, we've always come at stories from Santa Monica with, characters at their heart, right? And finding ourselves, even in Kratos, everybody's had a point in their time when they've made some decisions that maybe they wish they hadn't and really thought things through again. But I think for Faye, that was the question of, who is she? Who was this person that everybody idolized and, just stood in awe of, and to really think about all the facets that make up that person, right? She's, a loving wife and mother, but she's also a warrior. She's a guardian of her people. She's a rebellion leader. She's all of these things. And to be able to have an opportunity to just explore that person with the detail and the love that Santa Monica brings is just, very touching, very exciting.
What's the hardest part for you, stepping into the role as a director? Is there any sort of individual parts where it's like, that you feel great about overcoming? I think that's probably the more specific question. Is there's hard parts, but we always sort of push through when we get to that other side. What's any hard parts that you can think of that?
I mean, I think the hard parts there are definitely some places where I feel, comfortable, story is a comforting place for me, but there's some places that are new in a way that having to be familiar with that depth, there's engineering things and design issues and all sorts of things, and everybody has a question and they all need their answers immediately, and trying to kind of keep the potluck that we have going and becoming still digestible at the end of the meal, that's been very difficult sometimes, of just trying to get everything they need to be as creative as possible, and then keep a handle on making sure that it still tells a singular story of Faye. I think that's been it's been a learning and growing experience as time has gone on, and there's always voices from the top and there's always voices from the bottom. Everybody has an opinion, which is one of the things I love about Santa Monica, and it's trying to figure out how to temper those to make sure that we're being truthful to who Faye is and what her journey is on that.
So you kind of dove into aspects of design and
I don't know if there's really gonna be any actual truth in any of this freaking story they're gonna bring in this freaking game for God of War. I don't know. They're really gonna. So I'm not, like I said before, I'll say it again. I said a billion trillion infinity fucking times already. But actually, I probably said 10, 15 times. But I'm not a freaking historian person. I'm not a fossil person, or I'm not like a professor that studied ancient civilian, ancient old school theologies and stuff, and ancient religions and all that other mess. I'm not any of that hardcore expert on any of that stuff, religions and beliefs, ideologies and folklore, folktale, and Eastern or Western European, Greek, Roman culture that people lived and how they told their stories from way back then, and there were Norse gods and Viking gods and all this other stuff. I'm not an expert at any of that type of freaking subject matter at all, period. Any of you guys are experts at that shit, you can feel free to leave them in the comments below if you want to or not. I don't know if the chick Faye was even a part of the real Norse or Viking or Greek or Roman mythology or not. I don't know if she was just a made-up character for the games, or if she actually had some sort of real-life folklore from those ancient civilizations 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. I don't know. I have no clue at all. I'm just here to play video games that had a fucking good-ass time with it. I'm not here to get a freaking lecture of politics or any of that mess. So I'm hoping that's what they try to strive for the most, just make video games a fun, good-ass time, and don't pull any political rhetoric, regardless of what side it is. Even though it's mainly more the left side than it is the right, but both the sides are corrupted regardless, it doesn't matter. I just hope and pray to God doesn't make her a girl boss, woke, nasty, disgusting cunt, disgusting garbage, disgusting attitude, nasty, shitty personality. I hope they don't make that girl Faye like that. I'm really not going to give a fuck what this game does, is good or bad.
Yeah, got more educated.
That's what they go for. I hope that's not the route they're going for. But knowing how the stupid politics there's California culture shit, I wouldn't be surprised they throw that shit on there. Sadly.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part. I mean, that's the wonderful part about making games, is that it's not just one person. It's hundreds of people now to make it together. And, that's... there are places and things that every day is different. Every day is, 80 different meetings about different topics, and, play testers and build times and, design questions and art questions and narrative questions and, working with actors, and it's exciting. So I don't know, it keeps me busy. Never a dull moment.
Exciting, overwhelming, but fantastic. And you are doing an amazing job at it.
I appreciate it.
Falling into the crazy fray quite well. So for the folks at home who haven't seen the announce that we've done, why don't you do a little recap? Tell us what that's all about.
Well, the game reveal that we just showed, hopefully everybody's gotten a chance to see it. If not, maybe they'll take a chance right now. But we start with Faye's dead. We wanted to start exactly. We wanted to start exactly where the players were, which is, in God of War 2018. Her death was the impetus for Kratos and Atreus' journey together and their growth together and going on to Ragnarok. We debated whether or not to tell a story before that, and what we really wanted to do was just pick up exactly where the player was, which is Faye's dead, and she finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. And there she discovers some things that make her question whether or not Kratos and Atreus are safe, and she's determined to find a way back to help them.
What do you want the audience to feel?
I'd like the audience to watch the game reveal and be like, this is amazing, I can't wait to play this. I can't wait to be in Faye's boots kicking ass. That's what I want the players to feel. I want them to be curious about the world and the opportunity that it has in magic. And
as long as the magic's all cool and funny and friendly, it's not scary, eldritch, scary, creepy like stuff from like House of the Rising, Something Dead, or any of that mess, or any of that other crazy, creepy shit like freaking Human Centipede stuff, or any of that other mess. I mean, it doesn't have to be all cute and adorable like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, but it doesn't want it to be super extra dark or scary as you should either. And then the other thing, the way she says kicking ass, taking names, it would be cool, because I know way back, even in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, early 2010s, movies back then, and then later on with video games in 2000s, 2010s, you still had the girl that could be a cool, badass, hardcore chick, and she still needed help occasionally from the guys that were sometimes giving her shit, but she put up with it in a good way. She still knew how to balance friendships regardless. She still kick as much hardcore ass just like the guys can, but he wasn't saying all this nasty toxicity shit towards all men are bad and all evil are evil, all men are pigs type of shit. She was just a cool tomboy chick that was able to chill with the men, the fellas, the dudes, and do that bitches, you know? Before all the 2018, 2019 bullshit happened with the woke movement, the Me Too crap happened, and the whole fucking Gamergate shit went down, fucking screwed everything up, unfortunately. So some people still like that bullshit belief I just said. So I'm hoping she does kick ass, but the way they used to do it in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s will be a lot better. My fucking visual, personalized opinion there.
Gods that we're going to meet with all these mythologies coming together in the afterlife, you know, I want them to be excited and swept away by the world and Faye's story and where she's going to go.
But this is gameplay in this reveal, and this is showing that this is not a prequel. This is a continuation of the timeline right at the beginning of God of War 2018. What happened to Faye after that funeral?
Exactly, and we were really intent on it being gameplay. We, you know, we wanted the first taste for players to really center on what it's like to play this game and who this person is, and really show you what you're going to get when you pick the controllers up.
Speaking of who this person is, Faye, what is the most interesting aspect of her? Why is Faye such a compelling character? I know why. I have my own answer, but I'd love to hear your answer on why is she so compelling.
I find great connection with Faye's curiosity about the world, you know, her loyalty to her friends and family, you know, just the fact that she goes into situations that she's kind of unprepared for and kicks ass anyway. And I think that, you know, she's a little bit more improvisational than maybe Kratos might be, and she's not afraid to kind of be honest and show her kind of true self and emotions on things. And I think, you know, for Kratos, we love him dearly, but I think sometimes he's a little closed off, and he's learning to open up a little bit more. So I think with Faye,
he's working on it.
He's working on it. But I think with Faye, we got to be let in a little bit more.
Where is this all taking place? Like we're talking about that Faye, she died, right? She died at the end, beginning of 2018, and now we're kind of moving into this game and going on the train. Where is this?
So Faye finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. So this is the birthplace and the ending point to which all magic returns. All magic. And so the amazing thing about that is twofold, right? We get all sorts of magic, a highly heightened magical world to play in, but we also get the return and the discovery of a lot of different mythologies coming together, and what happens when those mythologies kind of meet up, and being able to kind of encompass and throw our arms around different mythologies has been very exciting. Just getting to know different people and different people's stories.
So the afterlife of the gods is kind of this transcendent place above kind of the mortal world and the afterlife of humans, and then the sort of underworld of humans. It exists sort of above all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Ragnarok, Odin really was kind of taken by that question. You know, what happens to us when we die? We know what happens to the mortals when they die, but what happens to us? And so this is an answer for that question. What happens to gods when they die? And, you know, things aren't working quite exactly the way that they should be in this afterlife of the gods. And magic isn't flowing exactly the way that it should be. So this afterlife's not exactly a paradise. It's a little bit more of a prison.
It's got a little bit cattywampus.
A little bit. And
I remember seeing that in the first part of the video.
Folks who are in charge there, who you'll meet in the reveal video, Sekhmet and Baxi, they've taken over things. And as two respective gods of war, they have a certain way of doing things. It's a little bit more violent. So this place is, you know, it's beautiful, it's magical, but it's very dangerous.
From a gameplay perspective, how is this a God of War game? What makes it sort of fit in the pantheon of God of War gameplay?
Well, we don't shy away from violence, that's for sure. So definitely true to our kind of brutal roots. But I think more than that, you know, we're focused on Faye and telling her story and just really exploring the world through her eyes, you know, that journey of her character and how she comes across this world. So I think that at the heart of it really just makes us a God of War game and a Santa Monica game. But, you know, Faye affords us a few more opportunities than maybe Kratos might. Faye is a little bit more agile in the world than Kratos is. And she has a healthier relationship, I think, than with magic. She doesn't quite the past that Kratos has.
She's more of the embracer of magic, whereas Kratos is the skeptical user of magic.
Yeah. So definitely being in a world so filled with magic, you know, we can really lean into that with Faye. And, you know, we want to stay true to the hallmarks of a God of War game, you know, just that close, you know, combat, that agility, the exploration of our world, you know, story at our heart. These are all things.
Pick up and play.
Absolutely.
That sort of brutal, kind of intimate gameplay that we've been sort of refined through each of the iterations, taking it one step further and taking it one step further. What are some things that are kind of added to make it unique?
Well, I think one of the first things that excited the team was that we brought jump back into the game. Kratos hasn't jumped for a little while. So I think that we looked through all of our God of War games from the Greek era, Norse era, and really we got to kind of pick up each element and think about, does this help us tell Laufey's story? You know, she is always thinking on her feet and, you know, throwing herself into like kind of the next battle and really trying to like work her way through the world. And so leaning into that, we were able to borrow some of those elements from the Greek era, just, you know, the movement, the fluidity in there, but then also couple that with the Norse era, you know, like the way that we approach the world, you know, our close ties with character, you know, Faye's relationship with her companions, like all of these things kind of led us to this new version that is uniquely Faye.
God of War Laufey. Laufey is played by the amazing and absolutely wonderful Deborah Ann Wall.
Stunningly talented.
Stunningly talented. You worded it so much better than I did. Talk to me about working with her.
She's amazing. Hands down. She just comes to the set with so much energy, and it's amazing to just be in this imagination world with her. And she is Faye, and Faye is her. She's also like amazing in the VO booth. Just one of like the best actors I've worked with in the booth, and just brings everything to it. Yeah, leaves no stone unturned.
Consummate professional.
Consummate professional. She's just a lot of fun to be with, too.
Yeah, she is a joy. And what about the illustrious Jack Quaid?
Everybody in Laufey is fantastic. Yeah. Jack is very excited.
Oh, what
amazing.
The
And Perlina, our
room. The freaking boys is gonna be in that one too. What? I didn't know that dude Jack Quaid was gonna be a motion capture actor in this game. What? He's the freaking cube dude, Frank. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because every time he was in that show, The Boys went to, that fool was always the freaking doormat rug everyone always stepped on all the time. He was always real spineless, pussyfooting type of dude, like how the other fool, Michael Cera and Jesse Eisenberg, were in the movie. They always had the females like pretty much shit and spit and piss all over the dude all the damn time. He was like the freaking doormat to every freaking girl joke or whatever. It's like, you gotta be the bitch and everything. You wear the clothes. You wear the freaking... You don't wear the pants. You wear the freaking dress and freaking lipstick and makeup and all that shit. And you're the little femboy fuck or whatever. Flag it, bundle of sticks. And then the girl has to be the man in the dude relationship. So I ain't surprised that dude is in this game. So that already gives me a huge, massive amount of red flags already, man. And I haven't even seen that whole series of the final last 2-3 episodes. I was watching from that whole boys show. So I'm surprised he ended up his character ended up dying probably in that last few episodes there. I do, my God. It sucks because his dad, I'm a huge hardcore fan of his dad. Like Dennis Quaid. That fool, you know, he's old enough to be my dad and my grandpa, but he was a hardcore, badass, cool actor. And that's because he's more on the left, like, the right, Republican conservative side of stuff and all that stuff. But that fool, he had a lot of cool ass. He was a whole cool 80s, 90s macho man type of dude that didn't take shit from any fucking body. Even though, like, I don't know the dude Dennis Quaid, like, personally on the outside, he always has some real cool nostalgia movies. I remember he did. I think the last one I saw him do was, like, besides the Ronald Reagan movie he did, was, I think the other one that had that dude from, like, Shazam, part 1 or part 2, I forgot what it was. He was, like, a coach for, like, based on a football, NFL, NBA story thing or something like that. He's still kicking. I'm going to be sad as hell when he passes away.
Character is also amazing. And
who's your favorite?
I can't pick favorites.
You got to pick a favorite.
I can't pick favorites on camera. They count for me.
I
still have to finish this game. I can't pick favorites.
Yeah. We won't show it until after you finish the game, but you got to pick a favorite. If you had to pick a
favorite, you're my favorite.
That's the correct answer. Thank you. You've been watching Dev Talk, and I am her favorite.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know who I would pick. I've only met like each one of them on a Zoom call. I was able to participate in the mocap thing via Skype.
And they work so well together, like just good energy.
He really is a delight.
They all are. Yeah. Really, you did us a solid however many years ago getting Deborah as Faye.
But she is wonderful. I am a huge fan of all the work that she does. And the work that she's done in this is...
so the same motion capture model chick, she was still the same girl as it was before in 2018. Okay. I didn't know. I don't know. Well, how come she looks a lot more nicer looking than that one? That was from the PS3, PS4 graphics. Compared to this one, they kind of botched her up a little bit in her motion capture character that she plays. It's really fucking screwy, man. I don't know why they did that.
Just truly amazing.
But you've been asking a lot of questions, Corey. Why did you want to make a Faye game? Because when I came back to the studio, the Faye game was already in process. So what about Faye did you want to do? Like, what about Faye was interesting for you in terms of telling her story?
I think Faye is one of she's in my top 3 favorite characters, right, of the entire franchise. And she is just such an interesting character with how much she was an orchestrator of Kratos and Atreus' journey. For me, a warrior has sort of touched such interesting parts of the past history of God of War. Moving to a Faye game and kind of seeing it move forward, rather than saying, like, hey, let's do a Faye game, which we did explore. At the beginning, we were like, let's do the time before, so we can really see all these cool moments, like when she was making the axe with Brock and Sindri and all the drama that happened with that. But ultimately, the most interesting part was really to tackle, like, hey, what happened when she died? And what continued on? And start to create this new layer that exists above. And throughout Ragnarok, Odin was talking about, what you had mentioned before. What happens to us when we die? The other gods, I think, secretly think that a little bit, but his OCD, like, really took over and he was hyper-fixated to focus, and rightfully so, because there is this sort of transcendent place beyond for the gods that is very interesting for us to start exploring and seeing how all these mythologies mash together. And then that sort of guide being Faye and seeing that difference of, like, look, Faye was a warrior of equal sort of excellence, but also damage, right? When her and Kratos met, they were both pretty messed up.
Right? She did not have a good exit from her people. Things went south. It's so funny that you say that she's a planner, because I feel like we've taken somebody who has spent their whole life trying to orchestrate things into a perfect space, and then we've put them in some place where they have to think on their feet all the time. And I think that is
starting to sound a little bit like you.
Maybe just
a planner who is put into a place where she has to now improvise quite a lot. There's a lot of you inside of this game.
Yes.
And for me, it's really exciting because, again, the franchise, Kratos is sort of the tree, and he sort of drives the franchise forward, and we want to follow him, but there are so many interesting characters that we created along the way. And for me, Faye and Sindri are, to me, the 2 most interesting characters. Like, and I love all the other characters. So all the other characters are amazing, and it's not that I don't love them. It's just that they have very interesting, examined lives that I really want to go deeper into.
I think also, like, we're starting to build a world where we can tell stories about different people and tell different kinds of stories. Kratos gives us his story, and it's been changing and evolving, and that's fantastic. And I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
But it also is nice to be able to tell different stories along the way.
Yep. And to see where do these stories go, and introducing this sort of extra layer, the afterlife of the gods, that actually connects to all of these other things. This was a wonderful conversation. Thank you for taking the time. So I want to encourage everybody out there to go take a look at the God of War Laufey announce that was just released. If you haven't seen it already, if you've seen it, watch it again, because it's even more awesome the second time. We're going to continue this conversation together, as well as with all of you out there in the coming months. As we get then closer to our release date, we'll even give you more information then. Until then, we are going to get back to work, because there is a lot of stuff to do. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Ariel Lawrence, for saying yes to direct this game. And thank you to all of the fans of God of War that allow us to continue to have jobs.
Yes.
Thank you for your support.
No, she'll keep the job. This freaking game is going good or bad. I hope it does successful, man. I really do, because if not, it speaks volumes on how bad their freaking lives is, or just stuff gonna absolutely go fucking south. Ends up being a shit trailer, trash, sort of crappy ass freaking video game. Oh man, as the sales do extremely bad, that shows this game did not do its job for having fun and excitement and all that. So, got one more to do. This video is gonna be way longer than I thought, unfortunately. It's probably gonna be a fucking hour and a half, which I was hoping to be 45, 50 minutes or 30 minutes. Fortunately, it's not going to be that, so hold on one quick ass second. Alright, so this video is probably going to be almost an hour and a freaking half long, so I'm going to have to remember which all the duration points I did the best reactions to, because I don't want you guys just to be here all day and all night watching my stuff. You can just put the video at 2x 0 speed if you don't want to see the whole entire thing. But I'll remember to try to leave the parts where I was reacting to certain parts of the videos. I'll remember to leave the important parts in there if you just want to skip to those timestamps. I'll try to remember and not be a lazy fat ass piece of shit, not to be a lazy fuck about it, and actually get off my ass and type every single one of those little spots in there. I'll try my damnedest to remember every single one of those. I don't have the notebook with me, but just for example, I'll just use this. I got this little notebook that I use, like the size of this candy cane thing. or this licorice thing. And I always write down which duration points I want to put into you guys, not into you guys, but into the duration points I want to see. I do reaction review commentary segments, so you just skip to all the part of me talking, yapping long and shit, so that way I'm not wasting your guys' time. You're getting a good comedic reaction review segment or a serious one or anything with drama news and all that stuff, so that way I'm not wasting your guys' precious ass time. Because I remember I used to see it in the late 2000s, so it says, oh, I'm getting 2, 3, 10 hours of my life I can't get back. I don't want it to be the one to put the blame on me for that shit. I don't want to be responsible that much. I know some of you guys got IRL shit you gotta do, obviously. So this being a fucking hour long ass freaking movie, or action review segment, it's 1.5, so without further ado, I'll try not to pause as much. Let's begin. Let's see it. This one said, real quick, hold on. God.War Laufey gameplay reveal trailer for the PS2. This one had 8 million views almost. Dang. So this had to be the one that did a lot of gameplay here. Right, let's go. I got to put new freaking title. I ran out of the freaking other one I had before. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents. Okay. Also starts out with him singing. Oh, there it goes. Indies, but not the indie developer. A video game developer company, no. Santa Monica Studio. Still wild that Microsoft Xbox still has them in the pockets unless Sony got it.
Find your way home. You are free.
Capture is going to be fun. Gameplay, okay. Oh, okay. This is the first time I'm hearing the narration, the voice acting for the first time, the motion capture acting. I get to hear for the first time. I only saw bits and pieces of the gameplay, so I get to see, like, I don't want to say I want to immerse myself in the freaking game, but I can really see how this game is going to really actually be playable. And whenever it comes out next year or year after, I don't know. Part's still mysterious. I don't know. Dang. I'm going across all the parallel universes and all that shit. That's actually crazy. Dang. Alright. I'm not gonna lie, I'll admit, that is cool as shit looking. And going through all the different realms, the different theory universes, different planes of either heaven or hell, and galaxy and multiverses, and all these other pockets of other parts of the universe that us human beings will never be able to understand after we pass away and leave this earth forever. Who knows? That looks cool. I will admit that. And I'm not a big believer. Whatever. There you go. New game. I didn't see it said new game on the side here. Oh, okay, so this is where how close we got into this other universe. Oh, that's the little creature there we saw earlier, remember that one? Oh, okay. So you still got a little gauge health meter like you did in the other God.War game, so I'm glad they didn't change any of that stuff at least. The health bar and everything.
Okay.
That's still this
We're
one.
in close. The pyre, it happened. They're starting on the path. It's just I didn't get to say goodbye.
Oh, that's it. That's a good tutorial how the game mechanics stuff works. Okay.
This definitely isn't the light of Alfheim.
Also, this is because she finds that little mask in there. Okay. I don't understand. I don't understand a little bit better now. How she got that. That's alright. Oh shit. Oh my god, they almost sound like the little dinosaur things from the Chris Pratt movie Jurassic World. Like the little, like, what's it called? I forget what you fucking call them. Not the T-Rexes. Like the little freaking, damn, I don't remember the name. The Velociraptor things. They sound like the Velociraptor little cries a little bit in the Jurassic World movie. What the heck? Man, they could have done way better with that sound effect. I've heard way better than that. They should have made them like the ones from The Last of Us 1 and 2. Or they should have made them more like demon zombie things from Killing Floor 3, in my opinion. That would have been cool. Just not my perspective. And I could have did better with the freaking monster demon freaking sound effects. I want that thing to be in the companion too. It's gotta be. That little freaking little monster, like, wannabe Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh looking monster creature, monster hunter creature. It's gotta be your companion too, besides that little inanimate object cube thing that Jack Quaid's gonna be playing as motion capture. That's wild as hell. And the voice acting probably hopefully.
Now, how about a way out?
Oh, I remember doing like those little sliding techniques. I didn't see that when I did the interview with the game developers. That's no. That's crazy. I wish I would have showed that in the beginning. Sure.
Guess I'll find my own way from here.
Okay. That's not bad so far. I'm proud of it.
No, it can't be. It's not possible.
Oh, so still break the smash stuff like the trailers.
If there's another mask, the path is the
You
same.
don't know the same thing that usual. This price is going to probably got two evil guys things he's going to fight later. That's probably what's going to happen there. I wonder if that thing was it's based off that Naruto Shippuden Naruto series, the Boruto monster demon thing, like for the nine-tailed fox demon thing, whatever. That was like a freaking, I guess, Japanese Asian mythology monster there. So it's funny because it's a demon though. It's not good. It's supposed to be evil. So it should have went to like a Hades hell universe, hellfire universe, instead of where all the good gods and good goddesses go to. So I don't know why they would put it in that universe. I don't know. I'm just speculating there. I'm not part. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just spitting freaking heads out of my freaking thoughts out of my butt ass. Who knows? I'm just viewing assessing sort of my thing. Oh wow! Damn. All right. That's the only cool thing I've seen so far is that little magical explosion thing she did. That was kick-ass. I'll admit that part. That was pretty awesome. I'll say the whole magical explosion stuff they have in this game so far, even though the game's not out yet, that's the only kick-ass thing I've seen thus far. That's the other one. Well, it kind of reminds me of that one thing a little bit. That other Sensual Saga Blade game or whatever, the way they're doing that scary, creepy ass freaking music. That's kind of reminds me of a little bit. Sensual Saga. I wonder if that's the same like sort of like freaking inspiration I got for making this game too. I hope it's not super scary like that though.
I wonder.
And it was only like, I think it was only an Xbox exclusive when they made that Sensual Saga thing. That shit scared the living hell out of me when I did a reaction like 4, 5, 10 years ago. And then they did like a freaking sequel. I don't remember what year it was. It was between 2022, 2023, 2024, I think, is when they did a sequel for it. That's crazy. I ain't got it. Shit's only a Microsoft Xbox Series X and S. I don't know if it went for the PS4, PS5 Pro though either. I know it was on Nintendo Switch. I'd be surprised if it went for Switch though. I'd be crazy if it did. That was a scary mother effing game. I will never in a billion years play scary demon ass fucking games like that, because I won't be surprised if there's actual real demon things that are getting into people's minds and brains and their hearts and souls and tormenting them when they sleep every day and night, and you play fucked up crazy ass games like that. So there's no way in hell I'll ever watch that shit or play that shit, which I wouldn't even have to anyways. I'm not even a Microsoft fan anyway, so luckily for me I wouldn't have to worry about it.
You think this could set you free?
Oh, that sucks. That's the thing that.
I swear, I will kill you.
Oh, yep, I remember hearing that part before.
I can show you.
You can't keep me here.
The gateway is closed. There is no escape.
Resisting the truth will only make this more painful.
Oh, what's this? Then shut up, partner. What the heck is going on now?
Betsy, I will handle that problem. You deal with our new pet.
Oh, it's gonna be somebody else. Oh, it's that big giant mega god thing they showed before. It's still huge as fuck. Still gives me a lot of old school Shadow of the Colossus vibes from back in the day. They need to do a remake mouse for that one of these days. Just also make it politicized or woke or anything like that. Dang. Woo! That thing flies on its own too. This doesn't walk or go in the water. Fly into the air like a Dragon Ball Z fighter character. Okay. That was pretty fucking cool though. I'll admit that. I'll give you a little golf clap for that Sanat series. Alright. That was pretty decent, alright.
Okay, I think they're gone.
Just be careful.
Fresh air. Oh, you're different.
You're cute.
That's still pretty crazy. No, that's that dude Jack Craven and the Warriors. That's wild.
There's no way out.
That's insanity, man. I ain't surprised either.
I'm the Ribbons, obviously. And my name is Rue. The cube is Frank.
Oh, okay.
There has to be a way
So
out
the
here.
other chick was Asian. She's the one that's the motion capture artist for that.
Of course I'm not here.
Alright.
I'm dead. You have to be dead to come through the gateway.
It's like you're holding something back.
This isn't working.
Now I gotta find a way to escape out of it.
I call it the everyone.
Afterlife of the gods. Great.
So, what's the plan, boss?
Not your boss, Frank. That cask. That's why
Where
you're
it's
trapped.
spelled different.
Wait, you made that big explosion happen, right? Could you do that again?
My magic's wrong here. I feel wrong here.
You won out, right?
I think we all want that. We definitely do.
Faye, you need to accept it. All of it. You're dead.
How? How do I accept that?
Simple. Focus. You're here. Be here.
What if I need to be somewhere else?
Then focus on what you do need.
Nah.
We'll take it. Now let's get out of
We still got the voice actors for Kratos. At least he's still gonna be in the voice narrating something. I hope that's good. At least they're gonna do that. Oh shit. Explosion bombing out straight again. Oh lord.
Rue, I think you should give her the sword.
How do I know I can trust her?
I'll give it back. I promise.
Okay, take it.
Ah, so that's how she gets the sword then, okay. Jack Quaid's character, the boy, he gives her the sword. He was so rude, okay. I wonder how they gave her that name, Rude, too. It makes me wonder. Reminds me of that little, like, African-American black Morena shit. The Rude girl that was in the Hunger Games back in the day. That's crazy, this girl and the other dude was in that game, too. Jack Quaid and that shit. I can't remember her real name was, but man, it sucks she got on politicized her, unfortunately. Okay, I remember seeing a little bit of this earlier.
Got an idea on opening that cage.
Oh wow, I forgot she can do that too. Wow, I had no idea. Should know. What the heck? Ah, it's the same guy from earlier. Uh-oh. Now she's still gonna end up killing her now. Oh my. Oh, so he's like one of the mini bosses you gotta fight there. Okay. It's probably gonna be real hard to fight. I was wondering if they're gonna have an easy, medium, hard, or expert, or hard, or hell on earth sort of like difficulty. You're able to change the difficulty to super easy for beginners or super hard for experts. I don't know. And the monster, demon, boss you're gonna fight, it's gonna be super easy. Or it's gonna be a huge challenge in the world. They gotta do it 1,000 times to get it right. I don't know how they're gonna make that. And this is how they did for the other God of War games, so I know they're gonna do it like that too. Let's see. Oh, I don't remember seeing that one. Man. Oh, fuck. Ooh. Oh, dang. That dude's got jumps and lots of ways. Wow. Kind of looks like Ganondorf from far away. And you can see a lot of Ganondorf, old school legends, all this shit there for a little bit, to a certain extent. A bit of extent. Uh-oh. He's got it, let's see it. They down like it's crazy. Which is supposed to be the main character on that shit. Oh! Wow. Damn! I was kicked back when I was there. He burns the whole freaking arena if he gets his ending. Okay. Woo! Oh! That is wild. Okay. That looks pretty crazy there. Dang. I really hope this is how you actually play the real actual game too. It's not just for the beta testing, but just for the trailer. I actually hope that's part of the game in there too. God of War. Laufey. I still want to call it Laufey for one people. That's not what it is. I wish it was.
I'm Corey Barlog, head of creative at Santa Monica Studio. Thank you for watching this extended look at the next little game in the series, God of War Laufey.
Cool.
You know, telling Faye's story has kind of been a goal of mine since we started working on the North Saga. She is very near and dear to me as a character, so I knew that we needed the right person to see this one through. I would like to introduce Laufey's game director, Ariel Lawrence, whom I've had the pleasure of working with for more than 20 years. Man, there is nobody that I trust more to bring this story to life than her.
Well, thanks, Corey. Hi, I'm Ariel, and I'm honored to represent the entire Santa Monica studio team. We hope this small slice of game we've shown you today has given you a good introduction to what it's like to be Faye and the kind of trouble trouble she finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. The team is still very hard at work creating this new adventure with Faye as she fights through the Everywind to save the ones she loves. You can expect us to be back with even more details as we get closer to release. We're super excited and cannot wait to show you more of the magic and danger that awaits Faye. Until then, thanks again for watching. Bye.
Dang. Oh, lordy, and freaking out. That's insane. So I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough time to do overall thoughts. When it's like an hour and 21 minutes already. Real fast, lightning speed overall, lightning round, hopefully. Finalized thoughts, views, opinions, vibes, feelings, hot takes, all takes, certain takes, problematic takes, how to package stuff, harsh, broad opinions, like I always do say. And last but not least, unhinged thoughts, world opinions, world views, bulletproof points, bullet points. And as always, like I always do say, tipping point scales. And as always, last but not least, topic hand, top of the dome. Radium. Real, actual, raw thoughts. Hardcore topic hands, neurons going off. Real, true, raw thoughts I want to get off my chest now. Certain parts of the game so far, even though this is just a beta tested one, some of it, I don't know if it's going to be like the final finishing act, because we don't know how many years it's come out. It's come out next year, 2027, 2028, or if they push it like I did with God of War Ragnarok. I never heard since 2013, 14, or I think early 2015, or at the latest 2016. Like, we never knew when we were going to get that game. Then we got it in 2018, so it was like, 4, 5, 6 years we had to wait before that game came out. So if we had to wait another 4, 5, 6 years for this one to come out, and they need more people and the developers, humans, to keep working on more of these video games, and it's going to be like, what? Supply versus demand. I don't know if it's going to ever come out next year or the year after. At the shortest, might be 1 or 3 years, between 2027 or 2029. But if they need way more time and they have to make this a perfection-ass game, it might be 6 or 10 years at the most. It might be all the way to, let's say, at 6 years, it'll be 2032, and if it's 10 years, 2035, 2036, or 2037. Way by then, almost a whole freaking 10-year decade for that shit to come out. God forbid, I hope it's not that long. Hopefully it's between, 2, 4, or 5.5 years at maximum. But we'll see in due time. Who knows? And the only reason my voice is getting faded out is because I stood up for a super long ass time. I stood up for like almost a whole day already. So that's why I'm starting to get real spazzing out, safe, slipping on unconsciousness about to end up falling asleep. Not because the trailer was bad or shitty. I just hope and pray to God. I'm praying hard. As long as I ain't no virtue signal and there's like, oh, it's toxic masculinity and all the men are bad guys, and just gonna make Kratos a freaking pussy little coward, and he's just gonna be the girl in a relationship instead of the guy, and I'm just gonna have all this girl boss shit and Yas Queen, Slay Queen bullshit, and that's all they're gonna do on the entire fucking goddamn freaking game until it does get released another 1 or 2, 5, 6, 8 years from now, or at the fastest 2, 3 years from now, which I'm hoping is between 2 or 2.5, 3 years instead of 6, 8, 10 years. That'd be long as hell for a game to come out that long, unless they're gonna make extra DLC for it and extra merch for it, and maybe a live action movie for it. Maybe I can see why it would take 6, 8, or 10 years instead of 2 or 3 years at the most. Who knows? Or at the least, or a year and a half. Fingers crossed if that crap truly does happen. I'm praying there's not gonna be no agenda pushing, no extra, oh, she doesn't need Kratos anymore. She's got a girlfriend, wife. That's her lesbian lover type of bullshit. They start pushing that agenda bull crap, and she wants her son to be like, I don't know, a strong, successful boy without his father or any of that mess, as his inspiration to be a stronger man, how he's supposed to normally be in life. They start doing that, and they start fucking around the fairy tale folklore and all that shit from Norse mythology and Viking Norse mythology and Roman Greek mythology stuff, and they start changing the way that they want to mold and shape, how they want to be like the gods of their world, and they start fucking up the real true stories of how, it's like I said before, I said throughout this whole entire freaking video reaction review segment, I'll say it again, I'm not an internet historian person. I'm not a freaking, just like that other dude in a story from New Zealand, Australia, that one guy, not like that fool. I only ever did 2 reactions on one of his channels. I know he did one like a month or 2 ago about to collab with that fool John Tron. I was thinking about reacting to it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass out on it because I don't really care too much for that dude. Not saying I don't hate John Tron. I watched some of his reactions, the other VTuber chicks that do reactions to his older content. It's funny as fuck every time. It's always a slap, it's a bop, it's a knee slapper, it's a chuckle. I got busted and laughed at a lot of his funny ass freaking comedic shit. So not throwing shade to the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, John Stafari. I think that's what his last name is. Safaria or Saforia? I don't remember. I remember his username was JonTron back in the day, because I remember he used to make videos for the gang runs back in 2010, 2012, 2014, back then in his prime. It's crazy, even now in 2026, how fool JonTron is still doing videos. And he's married on top of that, so whenever he has kids with his wife, he's probably going to have way less time to do stuff. He might end up being like PewDiePie, Markiplier, or Jacksepticeye, and just riding into sunset and retire. Have billions of dollars, millions of dollars on top of that. And I don't got no hate to the dude. The dude's funny as shit. Hilarious ass. I remember first time I even heard of JonTron was like 2014, 2016 when that dude Filthy Frank, aka he ended up being that dude Joji. That was the first time I even knew who this fool JonTron even was in the first place, because he did like a by 10 appearance collaboration with the phone. I was like, oh, this is who this dude JonTron is. It's funny, no offense though, the gang runs fool, they annoyed the shit out of him. JonTron was cool as fuck. I love the hell out of that fool stuff. Anyways, getting back to this stuff. OfWar Laufey. I hope the chick Faye's a cool ass chick and she's still in need of her husband's assistance. I really hope she's still like, and now she doesn't have to be the whole damsel in distress type of shit. I want her to be a likable character. I want her to be a badass, cool, awesome chick, and I really want her to be a likable, really cool, approachable, badass, amazing, relatable woman. Still be beautiful and smexy and gorgeous and hot and super pretty as hell, and hopefully the motion capture actress is just as good for a freaking person to do this role portrayal, and they don't push any crappy agenda, political mess, nonsense, rhetoric, horse shit around, and they make it just a fun, awesome, cool ass game to get through. And hopefully they don't have the female bad villain boss chick, real hardcore strong feminist bitch, or under strong feminist bullshit, political ideology crap-tastic cunt of a whore. Hopefully she's not a bad freaking horse shit, disgusting, toxic femininity, third wave, freaking hoop rings, fucking SJW, freaking virtue signaling, freaking asshole, freaking Gamergate, freaking bitch. And she doesn't think all the freaking gods and all the goddesses and the demons suck. Just have all the women gods and women demons be released out everywhere to the universe and to the world, and kill all those gods instead. Like, I don't think I'm due on this gender pandering bullshit. Like I did it with the whole Lord of the Rings Amazon show for Lord of the Rings. How shitty and disgustingly, utterly garbage, doodle butter that fucking crap was. I hope it doesn't end up being like this, or how they did that live action Halo show. I'm hoping this isn't a failure. I hope this is a sus, because if it's a failure, it's gonna kick me in the nuts nostalgically, man, in a bad way too, not in a good way. And that's it. That's all I gotta say for now. I'm out of here, wrapping up this video now. This is gone for almost an hour and a half already. It's like 127 minutes altogether. So hopefully you stood all the way to the end of the video. I wasn't hoping it would stay almost an hour and a half. I was trying to cut it down to 40-60 minutes, but had to do this as a reaction. The pausing is probably just going to make it way longer too, unfortunately. That's it. That's all I say from the out here. I'm just going to do my lightning round outro. I'm done here. As always, stay in the grind, stay easy, stay safe, stay healthy, be easy for yourself, be someone's hard, I'll let you epic, wonderful, badass, amazing, absolute god tier levels. Awesomeness of you fanboys, fangirls out there on the flip side. Extra cost us. Later, bye. Deuces amount. Gone amount. See you on the flip side. It's extra cost us. Stay awesome and amazing. I'll see you whenever videos drop up. Stay tuned for more video projects, video reaction, review, cyber commentaries come around. And yeah, see you whenever I decide to post videos on this channel whenever I get the chance to do it. All right, take it easy, one. Just take it easy, calm, stay safe, and stay amazing. And yeah, that's it. I'm done here. Wipe my hands clean again. All right, take it easy, deuces, and hopefully you still have a good summer. And if you live in the United States, happy early 4th of July. Talk to you soon. No, see ya. I'm out. Later.